Hey, what's up, Felix? Quick demo video for you for both of your sabers. You've got your Graflex Supreme right here that I installed. It has a Jimmy's Junk chassis in it, and then also your TFU2. We'll start with the TFU2. They both have Proffies in them that you provided. This one had my chassis in it that you had originally purchased from me, but I just went ahead and got rid of that and I printed a new one. And then just started fresh, right? So you've got CC Sabers LEDs in here for your main PCB. This is a 2-button setup, so your top switch is your activation and your bottom switch is your auxiliary. I did put a NeoPixel behind this red jewel so that it lights up, but it's wired in line with your blade. This red jewel does not show all of the colors in the spectrum anyway, so you'll more just get like a flashing or something happening here, but you're not going to see every color. And then to get to everything, you just want to unscrew the handle. As you know, this has a removable speaker so that you can have a 28mm over here in the pommel, because that's the only place it would fit. I did reuse or just left in the speaker that you had installed in here, so I left that in the pommel. It's working well, everything's good there. On both of these sabers, I just have the stock fonts because this was just a wire up job for you. So each saber has a stock fonts. There's no copy of the config file on this SD card because it is very basic, but I did put a copy of the config file I used on here because of the crystal chamber that I'll go over with you, as soon as we're done with this guy. So here's your Proffie board right here. You can take your SD card in and out with the Proffie board here, and I did adhese this down to the chassis because the inner diameter is so small. I didn't want this board popping up and frying out on the inside of the handle, but I have popped your SD card in and out from here several times, so you can do it. Just take your time. You can reach it from the underside as well. You can actually come in here and pull it right out, or you can use a pair of tweezers, however you do it. And then here are your speaker pogo pins to make contact with your speaker that's in the pommel. And then I went reverse as I normally do here, so spring sides are negative, but spring sides over here by the speaker. And I did that because I ran 2 wires off my positive terminal so that I could, run some things in line. You probably don't care. The main thing is that it works, right? So we're going to take a battery, make sure we put it in right, just like that. Now you're not going to hear anything, obviously, because we don't have the speaker attached. So we'll take the handle and everything slides right on. There's quite a few threads in this guy, but that's okay. Just go ahead and work it all the way to the end. Make sure it's nice and tight. Come over here and hit power. You see your LEDs lighting up. You can see that on your red jewel. Nice smooth swing. Auxiliary down here. I did rewire the switches as well, so I took everything off. I rewired them. We'll go ahead and throw a blade in. It takes a 1-inch NeoPixel blade. Actually, they both do. I've got a longer blade that fits in this guy for testing, and then I've got a shorter test blade for the Graflex because it's a pretty tight blade socket. I'm not going to use your blade retention screw on this demo, but it is right here if you ever need to use it, which you probably will. I'm not going to be swinging this around too much, though. I just want to show you that it works, right? Good flash on clash. Blaster bolts. And we go hit auxiliary to our next sound font. And the blue does not show up very well with the red. The red washes out the blue. So if we went to, let's say, the next font, smooth gray, you'll see that better in your jewel because it's not being washed out. That red wants to wash out that blue for whatever reason, and then it acts like it's not working, but it is. You just can't see it through the gem, right? But you can see it right here with the green. And then, of course, to play your soundtrack, just hold down your power for a second and let go. And that does it the same on every sound font, and then do the same thing to turn it off. Hold it down for a second and let go.
Smooth fuzz. Rogue Commander.
Now you're going to see your gem on this guy because this isn't just a straight blue blade. This is a flickering blade, kind of an unstable, so it has a lot of whites going through it, and those whites are setting off your gem. So that's the difference there. And we'll turn this guy off and take the blade out. And then do the same thing to take the battery out, right? We just want to unscrew the handle. One of my main complaints about this saber is like the 2,000 threads that are on it. But so this time when you take the battery out, your positive side is up here next to your switch box. Come in here with your finger and pop it out just like that. And then slide this back on and you're good to go. So we'll screw the handle back on this guy and then we'll go over the Graflex. This is the first time I've had an opportunity to install a chassis from Jimmy's Junk, and I thought it was really cool, man. I thought all of the design that he put into the chassis was very cool. So come over here and flip down this clamp first like that, and now you can twist your handle and pull it right off. Once you do that, here's your board. So you got your Proffie board right here. Again, you can take your SD card out from here and do everything you need to do. You've got your 28mm speaker, and then when you flip it over, this is a static battery with a recharge port, and this came with a kill switch. That's the turn key, so you don't have to take it out. You just turn this key to turn on, and we'll do that in a second. But you've got your crystal over here, and then you've got an OLED right here. So we just come over here, twist this guy, just like that, and you can see your OLED working. Except it's upside down. It's gone to the battery meter now, so that battery's pretty much full. Now on this first sound track, or yeah, on this first sound font, I went in and I messed with your crystal and gave it like a heartbeat when the saber was off, just to show you what some different things that you can do. So it's got that heartbeat there, and then you've got motion controls, and it goes on to a solid color, right? LEDs lighting up in there, and then you twist off. You do have the stock V3 MPXL in this guy, right? And this is also a 2-button setup. So this top red button is your activation, and this slide switch here is your auxiliary. So you've seen the chassis, which is really cool. I just wanted to show you everything was working. Your OLED, your crystal, everything there. We're going to go ahead and throw the handle on it. So we'll come over here and slide this handle on, and then lock down this, lock down that clamp. So now everything's nice and tight. One thing I did, or actually it was automatic on this chassis, was that the stock MPXL is down far enough so you get shine through on your glass eye. Just like that. And then your blade retention screw is this guy right here. Okay, so we're going to throw my small test blade in because this has been sanded a little bit more, and it actually fits. If you have a brand new blade, you're probably going to do some sanding to it. I did go through in your four. Let me tighten this down. I'll show you what I'm talking about. These 4 pins right here. So you got 2 on this side, and then you got another 2 over here. They were sticking into the blade socket a little bit, so I just shaved them down. Auxiliary. You have battle mode. That's how I set the saber up. So if you hit the blade or the saber, it's going to initiate blade lock up, and then it will stay like that until you pull away from it. We'll go to the next sound font.
Smooth Jedi.
You can use a button if you want. That's a fire blade, so I'll show you your crystal. You got a fire blade off your Graflex or off the blade, and your crystal here. And we'll go ahead and take the blade out. Now, although on the stock font package your crystal is mimicking your blade, I did wire it independently. So when you look at the config file that I left on your SD card, you'll see two different blade styles. You can wire, or you can program this crystal to do anything you want, right? It's wired independently. But that's all there is to it. And then when you're done, you just come over here and you twist this, and you'll know it's off because the OLED screen will go off as well, right? And that's it. Those are your two sabers. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I will try to get these out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks, man.